Hey, what's going on, guys? Valley of the Sun. This is Vic Huerta, Free Agent Properties. Um, just wanted to touch base with you. As you can see by the picture, we had a massive rainstorm in 2014. Cars were underwater. I mean, it was pretty crazy. You can see by this picture, I think this is 35th Avenue and Flagstaff. This is on a freeway. So I wanted to touch base with you as I had some buyers looking at a house in Chandler, and it's kind of reflects into the rainstorm that we had. Is we came into some roof problems, and I think it's very important for you guys is you might want to check your roofs before the 2015 rainstorm, the monsoon season comes, because this might be a problem in your roof. If you're thinking about selling your house or if you're thinking about buying a house, this is probably something you want to keep in mind of if you're searching for a house in 2015 because of the rainstorm that we had in 2014, and if you're selling your house in 2015, if you own a house, your personal house, or if you're thinking about selling. Also, is not with only with rain, but it's just crazy with the haboos that we have here, right? Big old dust storms coming in. Sometimes we get some heavy winds with the haboo and with rain, with the rainstorms. You got to check your roof tiles. These are just some pictures I picked up from the internet. I mean, you kind of don't want to be this guy, right? Flooded. Pretty sure it didn't happen from his roof. I really can't tell if it did or not, but I'm pretty sure it came in through his front door or something. But can you just imagine if we get another storm in 2014 like this and you have roof problems and you have all this water damage? You can see him. I mean, he's just soaked. His whole entertainment, his whole kitchen is just bad. He's taking the drywall off because you see here he cut the drywall out because, it causes mold. Can you just imagine if your house was like this with the rainstorm? With that being said, is I had some buyers looking at this Chandler home right here, which is a very nice home outside. I know the picture doesn't do it justice because the selling agent, he probably didn't use a professional photographer like I do as our Mojica Real Estate group does. But it's a very, very nice house. As you can see, is when you walk in the house, you get emotionally attached by the front, the curb appeal, the nice paint job, the grass, mature trees. It's in Chandler. Nice granite countertops, undermount sink, stainless steel appliances, new lighting fixtures. All this stuff you get emotionally attached. Now, as a realtor, we're here to protect you, right? We want to make sure you're buying the right house for you and your family, protecting you in the transaction. So my home inspector, he found some issues with the home and the roof, and found some moisture, coming from the roof. Found some leaks, some drywall spots, yellow stains, water stains, and we found out that we had some roof problems. And I just wanted to show you exactly what might have happened to your own house if you own a house, or if you're thinking about buying in 2015. This is something you might want to consider in inspecting, making sure your home inspector gets on top of the roof, because we had the big rainstorm and then we have a bunch of haboos. Now, I'm not a roofer. Okay, I'm not certified in roofing. I've done construction for 3 to about 4 years, paying my college back in New Mexico, Las Cruces. So I've seen a lot of things in construction. As you can see here, is this is basically a hip of your roof, right? You have sliding tiles, and this can be done by wind, by rainstorm, heavy rain, or even strong winds of the haboo. And water is either going to go around or through, and it's just going to find the easiest pathway to go to. You can see here is we have this is the paper that's underneath the roof, right? The underlayment, that's what it's called. And the tile is supposed to protect, the roof, basically all the debris and water and extra to get underneath, not to get underneath it here. As you can see here, this is exposed, so any kind of rain or water, it's going to go right underneath all the tiles, and it's going to get everything wet, the plywood, the underlayment, etc. You see this little hole right here? That's a nail, right? That's how they slide them under, they hammer it down, and then they put the hip joints on top so it can all flow and cover. This is kind of like the center of the roof problem that we saw at this house that my buyers are buying in Chandler. We took a couple tiles out, and I just wanted to take a picture of one. You see this wet spot? This is from the November storm where we had real light rain. You see, this is the tile we took off. This is my contractor. I'm taking the picture. You can see it's wet, moisture. Once you have moisture, wet with plywood and underlayment paper. Then you have humidity that comes. Then you have the heat. It turns into mold, and it's just, it's really bad. You can see right there. Here's more sliding tiles, and this is something that you guys should probably check out in your own house if you own a home, or if you're going to buy a home in 2015, to get this thoroughly inspected going into in 2015 due to the big rainstorm that we had in 2014. You see tiles are sliding off here. This is exposed again. This is at the this is the hip of the roof. These tiles should be underneath this ridge line right here, so the water can run downward, just like in the right side right here where I'm pointing at. You can see here, this is another ridge right here. These tiles should be underneath this ridge, okay? So that way no water penetrates in the underlayment paper and the plywood. You can see here they've all slid down. It should be like this one right here, okay? All the way underneath, so the water could just drain down here, flow down, and go down into the grass. You can see if it rains, the water is going to trickle down. It's going to trickle down into this underlayment paper, and you're basically going to have roof problems all day, all night when it starts raining. Now, the same thing goes to here. This is the main ridge line, or roof pitch, because this is your truss. The water is going to flow down here. We found out that these vents were not properly sealed, so water and moisture were getting in there. And also, since the water is running into this ridge line right here, downward, all the water is getting into this. This basically is basically a ridge line, and all the underlayment paper gets wet, and that's where you see cracking in the drywall and inside of the house. So I just wanted to point out that to you guys, if you're searching for a home in 2015, this massive rainstorm that we had in 2014, when you're looking for a house, not only do you want to remember the rainstorm, check out the roof. Remember the haboos, those strong winds, they can push those roof tiles off. And I just want to make sure you don't end up, like this poor guy, with water in your house or a bad roof. With that being said, it'd be wise, you can hire a roofer, come get some quotes, see if your roof is okay. You might be able to just hire a handyman, but I would definitely check out your roofs, guys, after the 2014 rainstorm. And if you need any contractors, here's my contact information: Vic Huerta, Vic at freeagentproperties.com, 602-615-1947. And if you're in the market of buying or selling a house, we'd be happy to help you out. And these buyers, I told them, hey, unless you get a new roof, it'll be a new house. The seller didn't want to put a new roof. They wanted to give us some type of like $1,200 credit. I kind of laughed, so I told my buyers, let's check the box that says we cancel the contract and let's go shopping for another house. It was unfortunate that we spent some money on the home inspection, but that's why you spend the $400 for the home inspection, right? To protect your initial investment, because this investment was over the $200,000 mark. So once again, just showing you some issues on some roof issues after the rainstorms. And we caught this in November. So if you're going to be looking or selling a house in 2015, make sure you check out your roofs. Okay, guys? Again, there's my contact information. I hope this was valuable information for you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.